Welcome to Crack Pack. My name's Andrew. Today we're cracking open Dominaria United. Let's get cracking. Our first card today is Meteorite, followed by Colossal Growth, Keldon Strike Team, Tattered Apparition, Negate, Haunting Figment, Flowstone Infusion, Stall for Time, Phyrexian Vivisector, Combat Research, Cult Conscript, Elas Ilkor Sadistic Pilgrim, and we have Leaf-Crowned Visionary, which for green is a 1/1 elf druid that says other elves you control get +1/+1, and whenever you cast an elf spell, you may pay green. If you do, draw a card. This is the Elf Lord from the set, and this one feels pretty good. For only 2 green, getting a 1/1 that gives all other elves +1/+1, and a means for extra card draw by just paying a green every time you cast an elf feels really good. Elves are normally on the cheaper side anyway, so you can probably afford to throw an extra green on most of the elves that you're going to be casting to keep your hand full, to replace that elf spell. Overall, I think this is good. It's a good support piece. It's not legendary, it can't be your commander, but it could certainly fit really well in an elf tribal commander deck, or, really any elf tribal deck, whether that's commander, standard, pioneer, wherever you're playing. This fits really well to just make your elves a little bit better, give them a little bit more staying power, or if you're only using it so you can pay the extra green to keep your hand full, that's perfectly acceptable too. That's a great use for Leaf-Crowned Visionary. If you've seen Leaf-Crowned Visionary used in a deck already, let me know in the comments below how it did. Was it being used as a lord, or for its lord effect, giving everyone +1/+1, or was it more that they were really relying on getting that card draw, and the +1/+1 was just a secondary bonus? Next we have a foil showcase art Urtai Resurrected, which for 2 blue-black is a 3/2 legendary Phyrexian human wizard with flash. That also says when Urtai Resurrected enters the battlefield, choose up to 1. Counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability its controller draws a card, or destroy another target creature or planeswalker its controller draws a card. This is an interesting creature. Since it has flash, it can be used to... you can use it as a response to something. Right? You could throw it on the stack like it wants to be used for countering something, or in response to something counterable. But what's odd to me is the price and giving your opponent a card. Because normally a more expensive counter, like if you're looking at, or let's compare it to like Negate, which we saw earlier in here, is 1 in the blue, counters non-creature spell. End of story. If you're looking at something like Spell Pierce from other sets, that's a blue to counter unless your opponent does something. There's others that are a blue, counter target spell, and its controller draws a card. This is 4 mana for a 3/2 that can counter a spell or ability, but it's a controller draws a card. That feels a little off. Sure, you're getting a 3/2 body, but At 4 mana, I would want a little bit bigger of a body. I might be a little greedy in that, but I think that for 4 mana, you should be able to counter and get a 3/2 without your opponent drawing a card, or get a slightly bigger body if you're going to insist on it being that its controller draws a card. Then the destruction effect feels okay. Maybe you're using this for that. But also it's a legendary creature, so you could use it as a commander, but what do you really do with this as a commander? I mean, everyone can see it in the command zone, so they know that you could, if you have 4 mana open, you could just flash this in at any point, and your commander's on the battlefield and you're countering something or blowing something up. But it's telegraphed, it's known. So if you're using this as a commander, what exactly are you trying to do with it? Is it just for the color identity? If so, why not use something else in blue-black? Is it just for the threat that you could flash it in, or do you have something else in mind? If you've seen Urtai Resurrected used effectively, let me know in the comments below, because I like it, I think, but I also don't. I don't know how I would run it as a commander. I don't know what I would really want to do with it as a commander at all, other than just providing color identity. And as a creature in the 99 or in any other non-singleton deck, I just don't know if I would really... I probably wouldn't use this as a counter. I'd probably use it as a targeted destruction, but I'm really of two minds of it, because I don't want to give my opponent a card. I'm greedy. But I think that's all Magic players. So if you've seen this used effectively somewhere, let me know. Let's talk about how it's used, why it's used where it is. Then our land for the pack is a Stained Glass Forest. And we have a Phyrexian token to round out the pack. And that's all for today. Thank you for cracking along with me. Be sure to check back tomorrow to crack open another pack.